Darn, don't you know that's wrong? Darn, don't you know that's wrong? Love another man and you don't love me. Darn, don't you know that's wrong? Darn, sidetrack that man. Darn, sidetrack that man. Sidetrack that man. Come and go with me. You know I'll treat you right. Can't get along with you. Can't get along with you. Work for my money, bring it all to you. What else can a poor boy do? Can't get a letter from home. Can't get a letter from home. Train's down the track, can't get her back. Can't get a letter from home. Now who's gonna shoe your feet? Who's gonna glove your hand? Who's gonna kiss your rosy lips while I'm in a foreign land? Papa will shoe my feet. Mama will glove my hand. Baby will kiss my rosy lips while you're in a foreign land. Can't get a letter from home. Can't get a letter from home. Train's gone before, she never run no more. Can't get a letter from home. Darn, don't you know that's wrong? Darn, don't you know that's wrong? Love another man and you don't love me. Darn, don't you know that's wrong? Love another man and you don't love me. Darn, don't you know that's wrong?
All right. Yeah, Rich, you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I guess my musically, at least, I'm a Kentuckian, although I was raised in part up north, but my family is from Kentucky, and my music is certainly, my music started really with my grandmother, but that was one of her songs that I just did. Her name was Addie Graham, and she came from I guess McGoffin County or Morgan County, one. And that was a song that dated back to the first building of railroads in that area. That was a song that she learned from some African Americans who were recruited to come from the deep south to build the railroad. And so she sang all the time, and that was my first memory of music. and it's just it's sort of the starting point for all the music that I do. I I was raised partly up north, but always in a Kentucky family, and I've lived in this part of the country ever since I got old enough to make those kind of decisions for myself. I've worked here at WMMT for, I was on the staff for a little over 20 years actually, and still doing a show as a volunteer. So.
Yeah. What was the name of that song, by the way?
That was "Darling, Don't You Know That's Wrong."
Okay. Yeah. If you want to go ahead and do the next one, say the name before.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this is Wild Bill Jones, which is a pretty well-known Kentucky ballad. Again, it's my grandmother's version of it, which is a little bit more fleshes out the story a little bit more than some versions. One Friday evening I went rambling around when I met with that Wild Bill Jones, walking there talking with my little Donny gal, and I bade him leave her alone. Some say that love is a pleasure, Lord, no pleasure do I see, for the one that I love as dear as my life has now gone back on me. Well, I got mixed up in an awful fight and I fell into county jail. Saddest words that ever I heard was when she wouldn't go my bail. I wrote my love a letter, Lord, asking her to pay my fine. She wrote me back in a week or so, saying, "Darling, do come home sometime." Now it's $1 in my pocketbook and a 40 gun in my hand. I'm gonna go get that gal that I love, or I'm gonna go get her man. Some say my age is 21, too old for to be controlled. I took my revolver from my side and destroyed that poor boy's soul. Well, he strangled and he struggled all over the ground, and he gave one dying moan. Throwed his arms up around her neck, saying, "Darling, you're left all alone." Some say that love is a pleasure, Lord, no pleasure do I see, for they was the last of that Wild Bill Jones, and tomorrow'll be the last of me. Said, "Pass around that long neck bottle and we'll all get out on a spree, for Dave was the last of that Wild Bill Jones, tomorrow'll be the last of me."
Yeah, you've already talked about it a little bit, but how'd you really get into playing old time like seriously? I know you heard from your grandmother as a child and stuff, but yeah, what got you into really like playing professionally and stuff?
Well, oddly enough, it was the Kingston Trio when I was in high school. They came out with that song "Tom Dooley," and it sort of started this whole kind of folk revival. And I hadn't really thought about playing music until then, but you listen to something like that, and it's like, hey, maybe I could do something like that. And I got a banjo um, because all the other kids in the class were getting guitars, and I figured if I got a guitar, I would be just another guitar player. But if I was a banjo, they would have to let me in the group because the group had to have two guitars and a banjo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so, and then my mother, actually, in a flash of insight, she got me an instruction book by Pete Seeger that was all about playing traditional style, um, and I started realizing that some of those songs that I was hearing people playing were songs that I had heard at home, but somehow they just had a different feel about them, and I started really listening to my grandmother's music with different ears, and started to realize what an amazing singer she was, and then kind of that opened my ears to the whole tradition, and I just started going down that rabbit hole, and I've never really come out of it.
It is a rabbit hole, isn't it? Traditional music.
It really is.
Oh, I've just started recently, and it's engulfing me. Let's see. I guess, yeah, just give us another song that, if you don't mind saying the name before.
Okay, this is a song that I actually learned off a recording, and it's been so long that I can't even remember whose recording it was, but it was it's a song from our cultural cousins out in Arkansas. It's called Harrison Town. Come on, you rambling, gambling boys, listen here to me. Listen to my story, shun bad company. You know I've been a curious lad, I know I broke the law, but I'll step out and hear 'em shout for me in Arkansas. I rode down to Harrison Town a couple of months ago. Turned my horse to the westward to Eureka I did go. Harrison crowd followed me, they knew I have no doubt that I would lie in the Berryville jail before the week was out. They captured me on Kings Creek, boys, I might have killed the crowd. If it had not been for the ball and chain that rung so clear and loud. My ma, she come and scorned at me, said to hush my jaw. There ain't never been a worser man in the hills of Arkansas. They took me down to Berryville, boys, I went to the court of law. Took my ride by the marshal's side, Little Rock, Arkansas. Come on, you rambling, gambling boys, hear what stands over my case. It's the noble horse, the big bay horse that I rode in the race. Now there's one thing that I've left out to you, I'm gonna tell. That is the girl, the pretty little girl that I did love so well. If ever I get my liberty with bread and meat to chaw, I'm gonna settle down and stay with her in Carroll County, Arkansas. WMMT 88.7 FM in Whitesburg, Kentucky. Radio that travels time.
You want to give it with your name?
Okay. I'm Rich Kirby, and you're listening to WMMT 88.7 FM in Whitesburg, Kentucky. Radio that travels time. You can make a banjo joke if you want to.
Oh, you want me to make a banjo joke? Well, have you ever seen a pretty girl on the arm of a banjo player?
Tattoo.
Yeah, it's a tattoo, yeah. How do you keep your car from getting robbed? You leave a banjo in the back seat.
Mm.
I think I'm telling them wrong.
Yeah.
See, how do you get perfect pitch on a banjo?
How do you what?
Get perfect pitch on a banjo. You toss it in the dumpster.
Oh.
I'll tell you my favorite stage joke ever to tell is, I'll just say, what's the difference in a rhetorical question and a joke?
What?
It's not a good stage joke, though, because it just makes it more quiet and awkward after you say it.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah, just let us know what song it is and start playing, I guess.
Okay,
We'll talk a little more after. So.
Okay. This is Gene Ritchie's song, Yellin' In, Don't Stop Here Anymore. Let me start again. When I was a curly-headed baby, sitting proud upon my daddy's knee, he said, son, you go to school and learn your letters. Don't be no dusty miner like me. I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and a rumbling by my door. Now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the yelling don't stop here no more. Used to think my daddy was a black man, scrap enough to buy the company store. But now he goes downtown with his pockets empty, his face is white as February snow. I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with the coal cars roaring and a rumbling by my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the yelling don't stop here no more. Last night I dreamed I went down to the office to get my payday like I done before. Them old kudzu vines had covered up the doorway. There was trees and grass growing through the floor. I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, with coal cars roaring and rumbling by my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the yelling don't stop here no more. I never thought I'd live to learn to love the coal dust, Never thought I'd pray to hear the tipples roll. But how I wish that grass could turn to money and greenbacks fill my pockets once more. I was born and raised in the mouth of Hazard Holler, coal cars roaring and rumbling by my door. But now they're standing in a rusty row all empty, and the yelling don't stop here no more.
So, yeah, why should people support WMMT, and what does it mean to the community?
Well, it's a way of giving the community a voice, and a lot of communities don't have the privilege of having a resource like WMMT. It is what the community makes it, and as such, it's just a really valuable resource, and it's as good as people want it to be.